All right, so it's not very different from a bedroom, as I said. So, you know, there's two ways of going about it. You know, you can shoot the long way, right? Like so where that, the short way, or whatever you want to call it. So the shorter side is going to be facing our lens, or you can have the longer side facing our lens. That's the decision really that you're making here. I prefer to do the long way, but because there's you know, there's another whole area here and there's a giant gap here from this perspective, I prefer this angle. But because of that situation, I think I might have to go this route. So I'm gonna make sure to include this entrance door to the patio. And the reason I'm starting with a pool today here is, you know, the weather might turn, so who knows. Now, normally what I would suggest is to go on the opposite side, right, on the side that we just shot that was facing us, but in this instance I'm gonna break this rule and I'm actually going to shoot the long side here because it ends, right? That corner, we have a full corner there, we have a full corner over there, so that's perfect. So I can't really see, so I'm gonna bring it up. Obviously I'm gonna bring it down, so this is just for the composition's sake. So I really like this window here, and I like this pillar here. So this pillar and then this window is going to be on the edges of my exposure there, and I want to make sure that I get. So I'm using circular polarizer. I'm looking at this area here to get rid of the glare. See how there's glare here and then there's no glare now. Boom. I think I'm ready for the exposure here. Let's go. I'm gonna come down on this side now. So with these, something to look out for when you're shooting pools is the corners. A lot of times you see spider webs, and you know, especially being in Florida, you got to be aware of spiders. All right, not a big fan of this here because you got that whole area, so I might have to do the same thing as I did in the beginning, which instead of shooting this way, to shoot this way. Definitely don't like the fact that there's a garden hose there, but there's not much you can do. Not a big fan of this composition, but that's just, you know, where we are. Okay. Okay. So here we are on the opposite side now. And I think this might be the best angle here. And now I'm going to do some head-on photos. Maybe a little bit too bright here. I want to leave the door here just to, you know, I don't need to show the entire door, but just a little bit, and that'll give us some room here at the bottom for the actual pool. If we zoom in a little more, you know, we're kind of like cutting off the entire pool. So I think this is really good right here. And then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. And this is actually a good side to be on before we head into that little nook. So here, because there's not really a way for us to back up, we're going to lower ourselves down here. And this might not look very good, but I'm going to zoom in. Yeah. Happy with that. I'm happy with this. Yep. Very good. Now, we're back to where we were just a moment ago, but I'm gonna shoot. Actually, what I'll do is I'll shoot from this angle because I don't really like the needles that we see here. From that angle, oh shit. But what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna raise my tripod, and I'm gonna do one of these like unconventional photos right here. That just gives us more of perspective of the floor, how the flooring looks like. Because it's harder to see when you're parallel to the floor, it's harder to see the floor. It's hard to see those tiles. We didn't see these tiles on the steps until we did this unconventional angle. And a lot of real estate photographers shine away from this angle because it's not architectural photography. Once you start pointing the camera down, I don't disagree with that, but also you're not an architectural photographer. You're photographing for shopping experience, for an online shopping experience. And there's different needs, different wants, and so on. All right, great. So now we've got the snook that we need to photograph. So what I like to do is also get these shots here where you get just a little bit of this side. Yeah, very good. Right, it's kind of like, I would say, like an establishing shot. Okay. Good. Fantastic. So I see some clouds, some thunder clouds going on. So I'm gonna get the exteriors. We have a water heater there for the pool. So that's a good selling point. So I'm gonna take a picture of that, kind of like in a context of this back side of the porch. Ooh, it's drizzling. It's drizzling, y'all. I'm feeling it. So just for the sake of being safe, let's head back in there, in the house now. And now, we're ready to shoot the inside of the house. And we're done with the pool. Just in time for it to rain.